hello everyone, welcome back to more Final Fantasy XIV Online, where last time we have begun the assault into Garlemald. We have somehow managed to find some survivors. We're trying to help them out while also trying to find more information about what's been going on in Garlemald. So let's get into it. Lysinia's inner turmoil is... Uh-oh? Lysinia's inner turmoil is writ plain on her face. Except... Sorry, I'm still finding it hard to come to terms with all that's happened. Now that you're here, though, I'm hoping things might change for the better. You know, I've worked up quite a sweat from all that running about, so I'll leave space around the fire for the others. Hey, Lucian. How you doing? As you can tell, they're in a far worse state than me. We're planning to look for somewhere warmer with more food, but they're not going anywhere until we nurse them back to health, which I don't know how to do. Is there anything you can do to help them? Alfredo! We need your healing. How is it? What they need most is a decent meal. We have food back at the camp, but there's the distance to consider. Want me to go hunting? I can treat their frostbite and their wounds, but it will take time for the fire to do its work. Now would be a good occasion to make use of Alien's tinctures, the ones that can warm the body from the inside out. We need to make sure everyone gets one. Yeah. The numbness is beginning to subside, though I suspect once the fire dies, it will return with a vengeance. Being gifts from the notoriously unreliable Alien, it is highly doubtful that this concoction will have the intended effect. If only they were willing, or more importantly, unwitting, volunteers on whom to test it. Oh no! Warming tincture? Never heard of such a thing. No harm in trying. But tell me, have you heard aught of the city? Though calling it that seems absurd after what's happened. It's nothing but ruins now. The few buildings still standing offer no more than meager protection from wind and snow. Food protection. Water purification. The Magitech that sustained us has come to a grinding halt. What machina that remains operational cannot be run for lack of ceruleum. Of course, Cerulia Ingens is full of the stuff, for all the good it does us. No one here knows the first thing about extraction or refinement. All is well. Yes, never better. You have a tincture. Oh, what sweet libation is this? Is it poison by any chance? 'Twas a joke, a joke. If I laugh, 'tis that I may not weep, so said the poet. And alas, my tears would freeze on my cheek ere they fell. We are the blessed damned, to bear witness to the fall of the great empire. Our brethren lie dead, or live on as puppets of flesh. First came the war, then came the roar. When morning came, Garlemald was no more. In a cacophony of gunfire, explosions, and screams was our beloved capital razed to the ground. From the rubble rose the disheveled remnants, their lavish finery caked in ash as they shuffled mindlessly towards the palace, each bearing a fragment of stone or metal, an offering perhaps to the architect of our destruction. A hopeful few tried to reason with the deranged, only to be beaten for their kindness. But I know better than to plead with the horde. I fled with my health, if not my conscience preserved. Now I wait for my fellow cowards for our final judgment. What do you want? A tincture? May as well drink it, I suppose. Y'all a little better? Oh, what's that? Is that radio? This? It's a radio. Can I have them where you come from, I take it? We use them to listen to messages sent by others, even over great distances. There are different types, but this model is by far the most popular. Made with quality components, crafted with the finest ore. Sourced from Locus Amonis, it is. Not all that useful since the capital fell into ruin. The people at the broadcasting station must have either fled or ended up like all the others, because all we've been hearing is the same music, being played over and over again. Home beyond the horizon. An ode to the brave men and women sent to reclaim our ancestral homeland of Locus Amonis. We may have founded an empire in these frozen wastes, but we always hope to take back what was once ours. It is a solemn reminder that though we suffer great hardship, better days will surely come. Despite everything, I believe that Emperor Varus yet lives, and that he speaks to us through our radios. It was a cunning strategy, faking his murder. He must have foreseen this catastrophe and chosen to conceal himself, that he may one day make his triumphant return. Yes, I'm sure of it. Emperor Varius would not be defeated so easily. Oh, goodness. Listening. What's that? Hello, Bread. So this is what you gave the others? Thank you, I'll save it for later. Actually, I have a few things to ask you. Are you part of the group staying in Latirum? I saw the Legatus Vergilius's troops heading towards the Magna Glacius a few days ago. Are they the ones you encountered? Camp Broken Glass, you call it. Vergilia and her men are all there now. So how did you reach the Magna Glacius? Did you cross the mountains on foot? I don't like that we're giving her so much information. I'm not gonna lie. Airships. Then there might be a way to... Licinia, where is everyone? Is something the matter? I just heard a voice. A voice from inside, you say? You must be imagining things. Everyone's out here. Perhaps baby Almasty was found its way in the house. It wouldn't be the first time. Without the soldiers to scare them off, wild animals have been roaming closer to the settlements. Some have been known to attack people, too. I just had an idea. If you and yours are strong enough to defeat a Legatus, then surely a few beasts shouldn't pose a threat. If you've in mind to continue helping us, perhaps you could head to the other side of the lake. There's a small group of tappers living there, people whose job was to extract ceruleum. They still do, from what we can tell. I've already tried asking if they would share their fuel with us, but they're not willing to give it away. They want food in exchange. Lots of food. And that's something we don't have and can't get on our own. On top of that, to even reach their den, we'd have to make our way past all those creatures. Would you be willing to go in our place? We only need enough ceruleum to last until the others are strong enough to travel to your camp. If the offer still stands, that is. Oh, and I don't expect you to give up your own supplies, but there might be another way to pay the tappers. Best watch out for baby Almasties while we're away. Hmm? Uh, yes, of course. If I see any, I'll be sure to shoo them away. To reach Tapper's Den, you'll have to cross the lake. The ice is thick enough to support a person's weight, but if you'd rather not take the risk, you'll need to take the long way around. Finding the entrance can be a bit tricky too, so it's easier to just look for someone standing guard outside. However you decide to head there, please be careful. Alright. Let Alfredo and Alize know. They might have something new to say. Okay. Decent meal. Except for Lord Eminalian, he's not one to leave others at the mercy of the cold. Of course, being a man of Corthus, I'm sure he is more aware than most of his dangers, but I sense that is not the only reason. Ever since the warm welcome received at Camp Dragonhead, the hospitality he and his brothers have afforded us has been nothing short of exemplary. Perhaps they aspire to live up to the example set by Lord Edmund. Maybe. Huh. Oh, actually, before I go any farther... Okay, so still need to go south. Alright. Whee! Ow. Whee! Oh god. That's now nasty. Alright. To the cave. Where are all of you? Snegovic? Snevogic? They're cute. Despite appearing to be comprised largely of snow, the bizarre Snegovic requires warmth much like any other creature. The cerulean pipelines, for whatever reason, gives off a certain amount of heat, which attracts Snegovic. There is concern, however, that allowing them to huddle around the pipes will raise the temperature to dangerous levels, so they must therefore be driven off to prevent a potential explosion. Oh my god, yeah? Ilsabadian Tursus? Bingo. Whoa ho ho ho. Next one. Okay, many elms to the north. Hello, burly tapper. Who goes there? How did you find us? Aye. What do you mean I stand out like a sore thumb? The purebloods over at Victor's Spoils hadn't given away our location, you'd never have found us. Those stuck-up arseholes, they could come waltzing in here demanding cerulean with nothing to offer in return. Looks like the boot's on the other foot and now the capital's gone to shite. So they've resorted to sending you to negotiate. I know your game, sellsword. They think we'll give in to intimidation. You've got another thing coming. Excuse me? Dead yet? Oh. Oh. I hope not anyway. I hope I didn't kill him. There you are. Oh. Hey, Alize. Just after you left, the Cynia asked me to go and catch up with you, in case he needed a hand. Someone must have let slip that I have a little experience in transporting barrels of cerulean. So this is Tapper's Den. Well then, after you. Who are you? What happened to the gods? Rabble. Eorzeans and rebels here to save the people of Garlemald? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Why in the hells would you pass up this chance to put those imperial bastards to the sword? Let me guess. None of you are Garleans. You are brought here from other lands. Girabania, Yantia, Baja, Damaska, to name but a few. Some dragged here against our will, others fed bollocks about a better life, all put to work extracting ceruleum. All given the esteemed title of An, placing us firmly at the bottom rung of the ladder. But the old hierarchy means nothing in the new Garlemald, says we. But the only thing that's escaped more or less unscathed is Cerulia Ingens, still sustaining us, even with our paymasters out of the picture. We hear you're experts in drawing up ceruleum from the bottom of the lake. But how can you do that if it's frozen over? Wouldn't you like to know? Trade secrets, I'm afraid. At any rate, it's not as if ceruleum is used for much these days. What with the city in ruins, we take enough to power our heaters and save the surplus for later. Though it helps stave off the cold, it does sod all about our hunger unless we can trade it away. Speaking of which, be sure to tell your contingent we've got ceruleum by the barrelful. If they're interested, we'll exchange it for whatever provisions you're willing to spare. We can certainly ask, but if you're all free to go now, why carry on living here? Free to go? Go where? Even if we managed to get back to our homelands, there'd be nothing left for us thanks to the Empire, and the knowledge and skills we acquired working here would be practically useless outside of Garlemald. So we're staying for the time being. As long as there's a need for ceruleum, we'll find a way to get by, even if Garlemald as we know it is gone for good. Gone for good. Regardless of what the Ilsabad contingent does for the people of Garlemald, the Empire itself is already a thing of the past. For many, that would be a cause for celebration, while for others, their whole way of life will have been turned upside down. After all the atrocities committed in the Empire's name, perhaps it is for the best that it is consigned to history. But what of the ordinary people? Their lives, their stories, should they be forgotten too? I suppose there'll be plenty of time to ponder that later. For now, let's see about getting some ceruleum. The fire we built at Victor's Spoils won't last forever, and it'll be too dangerous for Lucinia and the others to search for more kindling. If we can get them some ceruleum, that'll be one less thing for them to worry about. For a time, at least. He's amenable to make a deal. So you've come seeking ceruleum, have you? What? Those purebloods up at Victor's Spoils sent you? To turn to their enemies for help. They must be more desperate than I'd thought. Then again, Licinia's got a little sister to think about. A sister? But we only saw Licinia and 3 men. Possible she died from whatever was ailing her. If she needed treatment, I doubt there'd be any way to get around here. I may have refused Licinia at first, thinking she'd come back with something to exchange, but I can spare them a bottle's worth of ceruleum. Consider it a reward for introducing me to the rest of your contingent. Be sure to send them our way, you hear? Fair, thank you. I can't for the life of me think why the Cinia would keep her sister a secret from us, but we can ask about that after we deliver the ceruleum. Come on, let's hurry back. Yeah, we're faster anyway, right? Not gonna lie, I was gonna go around because I did not notice the stairs there at first. Oh, they're gone, aren't they? They are gone. Gosh darn it. This isn't right. It's too quiet. I would have thought Alphino would be treating them by the fire, but they're nowhere to be seen. I'll look inside the house while you search outside. They can't have gone far. God damn it. They leave a note, at least. Well. Oh, no. Damn it. Damn it all. Alphino, what happened? They asked me to help carry supplies, but when I followed them back here, they attacked me. Caught me off guard. Forced me to defend myself. I fear they fared rather worse than me. You can't fool us. We know what you're about. Vultures, that's what you are. Waiting in the wings for us to show weakness, then in you swoop. You're to help what brought all the ploy to make us lower our guard. Let you in, put ourselves at your mercy, put us in chains, steal our lands, get your revenge. You're wrong. That's not what any of us want. Save the arguments for later. We've got bigger problems. I found empty medicine bottles in a bed that was still warm. It's true. Licinia was hiding her sick sister inside the house. But now there's no sign of either of them. Where are they? Where did they go? Away from you and yours. If you think I'll tell you, you're a fool. I'd never give up my people. We're trying to help them, you idiot! Her sister's ill. The empty bottles prove it. So the medicine ran out, or she put it in her pockets to make it easier to carry. To avoid the sound of clinking glass. There are beasts everywhere. How could you let them go alone? To protect them from you. You invade our homeland, taint it with the same sorcery used to slay our countrymen. Guardian should sooner die than suffer the insult. Better for them to flee, keep their purity intact than to be corrupted by your vile magics. We were waiting for a chance to free them, since the moment you arrived. This is getting us nowhere. Cannot say how Licinia and her sister will react when we find them, but find them we must. Go on without me, both of you. I first need to tend to my injuries. And theirs. I'll join you in the search after. Alright, be careful. We'll do our best to find them quickly. There's only one path out of here, so that's where we'll start. Follow as soon as I can. After I've given them some basic treatment, I'll take them inside the house and use a light sleeping enchantment to help them rest, and ensure that they don't cause any more trouble. Sorry, but this is something I must do. Rebels of our lands, rebels of our pride. No, I'll not allow it. Better to die free than live in servitude and shame. The girls would say the same. Two sets of fresh footprints. Young women, judging by the size. This is definitely them. Come on. The trail stops at the frozen lake. Perhaps they chose this route so as not to leave footprints. Can't think of any other reason. Look at this place, it's crawling with beasts. I can only imagine how hard it must be for her ailing sister to cross the ice. We could really do with Alphino's help, but we can't afford to wait for him. Let's split up and look for clues. They have gone towards the cave. Oh! Empty bottle. The empty bottle smells faintly of alcohol. The thin coating of dust in case has been here for some time and likely to have been a concoct. Unlikely to have any connection to the Cindy and her sister. Probably from those in the cave. Fresh blood. Oh no. Bloodstains. The snow appears to be fresh, judging by the amount. The victim may have been severely wounded. Southeastward. Aid. Oh no. Two bodies are already cold.
blood trail. We found one. They were attacked. No. Why wouldn't they?
Safer to brave the wilds than trust in our magic. We should have... I should have... We can't leave them like this. We have to take them home.
What if we're only making it worse?
Maybe we don't belong here, but neither do they. Not out here in the wind and the cold.
Damn.
I heard the story about Varus's voice from beyond the grave. Of course, I didn't believe it, but Licinia and her sister did. Perhaps there's something to the tale after all.
What do you mean?
I want to understand. So I'm going to borrow this for a while, if that's all right. You had every reason not to trust us. We came as trespassers, invaders. But I pray that in time, we will be more than that to you. That we will find a way to help your loved ones. And see that no more children are left to freeze alone in the snow.
Must have been something we could have done, but what? So we have never come here? Would they still be alive if we hadn't? We'd had a chance to talk things over, but it's too late now. Too late by far. Alphino's resolve may be shaken, but he has not forgotten his duty. We have already caused enough harm here. Let us return to the camp before we cause any more. As for those inside the house, we should send someone to take care of them. Someone who isn't us. All we can do for now is make our report to Lucia, and do everything in our power to prevent further tragedy. So let us linger here no more. Come. quests here now, damn. Snow is taking in all these Godlings if we're going to let them freeze to death. We need heat, for goodness sake. I should have brought more warming tinctures. Treatment of the tempered is proceeding as well as can be expected. If there is anything to report, you'll be sure to know, though I gather you have a report of your own to deliver. Is something the matter? The twins look out of sorts, and you too seem a bit off. Do you mind giving Lucy a full report? We mustn't forget to send some of our allies to Tapperstan. We still owe them for the bottle of cerulean. Forgive me for saying, but the three of you appear rather drained since you returned. Is there aught I might do to be of assistance? Alize and Alphino tell me they have finished their preliminary search for survivors, but refrain from saying much more than that. Clearly they are reluctant to provide details. Might ask for your account. Yeah.
Thank you for your report. We shall inform the troops of these developments, and instruct them to proceed with the utmost caution should they encounter any survivors.
Allow me to go and speak with the ones at the Victor's spoils. They may be more willing to listen to a fellow Garlean and accept our offer of assistance.
I pray you are right. And though I am loath to burden you any further, should there be an appropriate occasion to speak of Licinia and her sister, please do so.
I am sorry to have put you through this.
My distress is nothing compared to their suffering. So tell me, what else have we learned?
As you may have already heard, we have succeeded in curing the members of the Populares, Maxima identified. They have provided us with some intriguing insights into the current state of Garlemald. The assassination of Emperor Varus was the catalyst for the civil war. Nerva declared his claim to the throne, and his opponents refused to recognize it. Fighting broke out in the capital, where Nerva's 3rd Legion clashed with the 1st, who remained loyal to Varus even after his death.
Of course, even Imperial warmongers would balk at the idea of turning their shining city into a battleground. Like burning down the wood to spite the wasps. Neither side would be so mad. Unless something or someone inflamed their animosity to such an extent that they could not help but act against their better judgment.
It brings to mind events of the Gimlet Dark, does it not? The Emperor's sudden withdrawal from the front lines, specifically. Nerva and his father, Titus, Varus's then political rival, took advantage of rumors that Crown Prince Xenos had been possessed by a demon.
Elidibus, what better way to disparage your enemies than with the truth, or a close enough approximation?
Indeed. But before their accusations could be substantiated, many of Titus's followers were silenced. While some were merely stripped of their status, others died under curious circumstances. One after another, suddenly and suspiciously.
Again, Elidibus. Like as not, he had a hand in it. No evidence was found to implicate Varus, certainly. Nevertheless, Titus, Nerva, and the Third Legion would have judged it a brazen attempt by the Emperor to rid himself of his political enemies. And then, in the midst of this growing turmoil, Varus Sosgalvus is murdered. And Garlemald's own prodigal son, Gaius van Belsar, is named the murderer. Shortly thereafter, Nerva claims the right of succession, and in response, the First Legion claims the assassination was part of a coup d'etat orchestrated by Titus and Nerva.
So no one is at fault, and everyone else is to blame.
I should add that both parties received substantial financial backing, presumably to provide them with the means and encouragement to pursue a swift victory, and that these contributions came from the self-same benefactor.
I'd heard House Brutus had been filling the Third Legion's coffers, but the First as well.
It would seem so. Though the Populares determined that the First Legion received funds from a variety of organizations, all had connections to House Brutus.
So Fandaniel, in the guise of Asahi, was playing both sides against each other the entire time.
The information we gained from my friends does not end there. One night, shortly after fighting broke out, the capital was shaken by an immense tremor. From that point onward, they have no memories, no recollection of any events, including our clash on the Magna Glaciers. But when asked about the Imperial Palace and its bizarre transformation, they somehow recall Emperor Varus giving them orders in their dreams. May the Tower of Babel stand as testament to the glory of Garlemald.
This sounds awfully familiar.
We have something to show you all.
Varus spoke to them through this radio. Perhaps it was a recording, but if not, that would be inexplicable.
We are of one mind, then.
The ether that permeates the ore used in this device is almost identical to that of the talismans.
Oh, damn.
I see it. While it is likely more by coincidence than design, these devices might also ward against a primal's influence. A picture is beginning to form. If the tremor felt throughout Garlemald was a wave of ether emitted by a primal, then while those within range would have been tempered, those huddled around a radio desperate for news concerning the Civil War would have been spared.
No wonder Licinia kept it close.
My friends, I must speak with you.
What is it? What's happened?
A young man was caught trying to steal our supplies. He is a soldier of the Iron Men, we think, but one who has not been made thrall. Thankfully, Magni restrained him before blood was spilled. The stranger is outside, if you wish to ask him questions.
I think we do.
Who do we have here?
Garleans?
Traitors to your homeland! Have you no shame?
I am Lucia Junius, a Temple Knight of Ishgard. And you are?
Iulus Pier Norbanus. And that's all you invaders will get from me.
We are not here to invade Garlemald. Far from it. Like you, our allies in Eorzea and the Far East fight in defense of their lives and their loved ones even as we speak. But it is the people of Garlemald who have suffered most. This we know. And that is why we have come to offer you our aid, that we may unite against our common foe. Whether you believe me or not, those are the facts. Now, answer me this. Why would a proud soldier of the Empire be reduced to stealing? The situation must be dire indeed for you to go to such lengths. If it is supplies you seek, we would gladly share ours, or turn a blind eye while you leave with your spoils.
I will not negotiate. My commander will determine how to deal with you and yours. If you wish to treat with him, I will take you, but no more than 3.
I wonder which 3.
I don't much like the sound of that. But if we do accept his proposal, I suggest the 2 of us and...
Oh, you want to go, Stola? Thought you're still feeling a little wonky from the waves.
Please allow me and Alize to act as envoys.
Oh.
May I ask why?
We have seen with our own eyes the hardships the Garleans face. How their futures and lives hang in the balance.
It's not the warmest invitation, but it's an opportunity to prove our intentions true. Maybe not a chance to make things right, but a chance to make them better.
What would your mother say if I let you 2 go by yourselves?
I can see that persuading you otherwise is a lost cause, but you will proceed with the utmost care.
Of course, sorry, Lucia.
Couple of children and what? A sellsword? Is this an insult?
Not in the least. You will find that they are more than qualified to speak on our behalf.
True.
There are many dangers on the road ahead. I will need that back.
Oh boy, here we go. Said your farewells, have you? The lowly task of keeping watch over provisions would not normally befit the sun, but these being unusual circumstances, I will let no man take that which is not by rights theirs. Thanks, Magnite. Perhaps it is unwise to volunteer for a mission so soon after the previous disaster. Nevertheless, I shall not squander this opportunity. I know. This won't bring back Xinia or her sister. Taking the same risks, making the same mistakes. It's possible, but better to try than to give up. Every time. I worry they were not in the best state of minds to volunteer for this undertaking, but what's done is done. I know you will take good care of them, and yourself as well, I trust. They are resilient in the face of hardship. You as well. But good intentions and stubborn determination alone will not be enough to bring our mission to a successful conclusion. Be on your guard. Truthus Prier Nobanus. It is unusual for one so young to achieve such a high rank. Very unusual. His uniform identifies him as a member of the 1st Legion, which has a particularly fierce reputation. Whoever his superior may be, I advise you to approach them with caution. We captured the boy as he was about to make off with the food. He must be very hungry to take such risks. Maybe we should give him something to eat. Reward him for his boldness. You will be received as invited guests, and so I urge you to observe proper social etiquette and conduct yourself accordingly. Your safe return takes precedence over all else. Remember this. Thancred, in particular, will be worried sick if you're gone too long. May the Fairy watch over and keep you. Okay. I get it. I feel like Thancred's gonna be following after us. So... That's why she specifically spoke up about Thancred. Okay. I get it. Wink wink. Nudge nudge. Are you and the children ready? I will explain the route once we are outside your camp. If anyone attempts to follow us, we'll judge it as an act of hostility. We will not hesitate to take appropriate measures. I would expect nothing less. You have our full cooperation. But Thancred's very good at what he does, so I'm not too worried. Where do you think their headquarters are? I assume there are a few others beside him and his commander he mentioned. We'll do only as instructed. After all, this is what we have been striving for ever since we arrived. Alright, this is far enough. Listen carefully. We head over that hill, then follow the road until we reach Seminole Station 4. Children in the lead, I want you where I can see you. We do have names, you know. I'm Alizé and he's Alphino. And last but not least, there's Shent. Shent. Where have I heard that name before? No matter. Alphino and Alizé will watch the road ahead while we bring up the rear. I wasn't lying about there being many dangers, so you're to run, not saunter, run towards the station. If you even think about going for your weapon, the deal's off. Should any creatures bar the way, we go around them. Ready to make a dash for the station? Yes. Oh. Learn more about this question via the questioning icon. I would like to speak with Julius, but okay. This must be the road he mentioned. If it's conversation won't save it until we've arrived. Okay, not the easiest surface to run on. I'm just waiting for one of them to accidentally slip. Better not draw attention. A train station. Nothing like the ones in Thanlon. We're here, I think. This is it. The first stop, that is. Good. It looks like your friends knew better than to follow us. Are these your headquarters? No. We're stopping here so I can check for pursuers. Since it appears you kept your side of the bargain, we can carry on. I wonder what sort of conditions Julius and his commander are living in. If they're any sense, they'll have picked somewhere like Victor's spoils to take shelter. We're getting closer to the Imperial Palace, if one can still call it that. This truly is a terrifying sight to behold. North of the station is Regio Demorum, one of the main residential areas, or at least it was. The afflicted roam the streets in packs. They'll tear us to shreds if given the chance. Keep close, no wandering off. Wandering off, understood? Knows only too well what dangers lurk around every corner. From here, we'll be heading northeast, keeping to the left of the railway. While the route itself is straightforward, getting past the hordes unseen is anything but. Keep your weapons at the ready. They would attack their own countrymen? Aye. They spare their own, but slaughter the rest without hesitation. Though we'll try to avoid detection, the chances of sneaking by completely unnoticed are slim at best. I'll lead the way, but in the event we are seen, you're to fight them off. Those two will follow us, provided they can refrain from drawing their weapons. While I doubt they would be foolish enough to stab their guide in the back, I will not take that chance. With that said, we'll just proceed. Well, right, but damn it, we're perfectly capable of handling our own. We must stay alert. See why your comrades chose you. Jules, our contingent has a cure for the afflicted, or tempered as we call them. The people would need to be taken into custody that we may administer the treatment, but they would eventually regain their sanity. Is that so? For all I know, your treatment would simply force them to forsake one master for another. As far as I and my legion are concerned, they are no longer our people. They're beyond saving. Those who thought differently and tried to reason with them were butchered for their bleeding hearts. Come, we have to keep moving. Oh God, one of the trains. You bear this burden alone. Looks like we're not being followed. We'll continue onward. Truly believe there's nothing that can be done for them. No wonder he isn't afraid to get his hands dirty. surest way to limit casualties is to reach our destination without drawing attention to ourselves. Perhaps afterwards we can try again to convince Jules that the Tempered can be saved. I meant what I said. These people deserve only death. I stayed my hand before only out of the desire to remain undiscovered. That is still the higher priority. We should continue to avoid any unnecessary confrontations. Keep following the railway. What the frick? That I don't think we can cure. Transformation is likely irreversible. To think they were once ordinary people. Look at what they have become. But you still stand there and claim that they can be cured. Those exposed to a vast quantity of a primal's aether may suffer severe corruption. Even with treatment, such victims are beyond salvation. Then you admit it. Now that you have seen those monstrosities for yourself, perhaps you will think twice before speaking of a cure. This above here or below? Oh, I wish there was another way. I thank you for keeping us from harm. Even here in the outskirts, it's plain to see how vastly different Garlemald is compared to other cities. We're almost there. You have kept your side of the agreement, so I will keep mine. This way. Man, I wish I could have seen Garlemald before it got turned to shit. This is Terratum, one of Garlemald's largest stations, now serves as our headquarters. I've already sent the twins ahead. I'll be with you soon, so wait for me at the bottom of the stairs. Theodora. No intention of speaking with you. I have no idea they had such an expansive structures built underground. It's plain to see why they chose this as their base of operations. They could have done a lot worse. Even so, I imagine it's not the easiest place to live. Indeed. And if Jules was willing to make the perilous journey to Camp Broken Glass to search for food, their own supplies must be all but exhausted. They must be shielded from the wind and the snow, but it's still bitterly cold. Much like Victor Spoils, it must be a constant struggle to keep their people warm. Lower your voices. While you may be here as my guests, the others will not take kindly to your presence. My commander is in the locomotive, over there. Intention of speaking with us, eh? The Aetherite is not responding. Ooh. Imposing commander. Now comes the true test. Certainly looks the part. I'll deal with you in a moment.
These are their chosen representatives.
Very well. Let us hear what they have to say.
Yes, sir. I present to you our commander, Lord Quintus Van Kina, Legatus of the 1st Legion.
The first? I had no idea you had survived.
We lost our Emperor, our city, more than half our troops. For my wounds, I may never take the field again. But we survived, aye. In a manner much to your liking, I dare say.
We have no intention of adding to your misfortunes, nor do we bear you any ill will.
Spare me. Though you children may speak in earnest, overtures of peace ever ring hollow in my ears. So long as man stands to profit from his neighbor's suffering, war is inevitable. Driven from our ancestral homeland into this blasted waste. Yet still you yearned to rob us of our paltry scraps. 'Twas only with Magitech that you learned to keep your distance. Though we knew it was only a matter of time before you regrouped and returned. Conquest and Empire were our only defenses. Emperors Solus and Varys understood this, and through their campaigns saw us grow and prosper. Much blood has been spilled in Garlemald's name, aye. But if it is a choice between yours and mine, then it is hardly a choice at all.
I do not deny that a great many conflicts throughout history were driven by the desire or necessity to gain by another's loss. That is not why we are here. Nor have we come to petition your aid in the war with the Telophoroi, grave though that threat may be. Our purpose is simply this. We wish to help you. Let us help you. If there is aught that can be done to ease your plight, we would be glad to do it.
Perhaps you would. But regardless of the ideals you espouse, your leaders would not send an army into Garlemald if they did not stand to benefit. If we accept their aid, they will expect their efforts to be rewarded once the Telophoroi are no longer a threat. And after compensation and concessions, the great empire would be brought to heel. Her enemies rejoice at her downfall. Our third eye, a mark of shame.
We won't stand idly by and let your people be humiliated. And we're not alone in that. We only want to make a difference, to make this world of ours better. Surely you can understand that. What I'm trying to say is, there are so many people who just don't care about making you suffer. And maybe that's almost insulting after all the suffering you feel the world has subjected your people to, but believe it or not, that's the truth. And now we're here, and all we're asking is for you to tell us what you want, what you hope for.
So much blood has been shed, so much lost. All because of this endless war. Who wouldn't want to end it? Can we not work together to face our problems as one?
Answer me this, young peacemakers. If a world without conflict is your desire, why reject the unity and prosperity of Garlemald? Is it because we do not share your faith? That we do not share your heritage? That our ideals and virtues differ? That we cherish and hold in the highest that which you do not? Disparity is the root of discord, and peace built on compromise is flawed and fleeting. Happiness for one and all is a dream, and the reality is that to the victor go the spoils. That is why we Garleans will never submit nor surrender. For freedom and for pride, we will remain true to ourselves until the bitter end. That is my hope. It seems there is nothing more to say on the matter. You will remain here while I decide what is to be done with you. Do not be alarmed. No harm will come to you if you cooperate.
We will not resist. However, as your guests, I ask that we be allowed to speak with the other members of your group.
As you wish. I had no intention of locking you up, as by dawn you would be frozen stiff and you're no good to me dead. You are free to move about the encampment, but there is one condition. Collar them.
What are these?
Incentive. You'll be watched at all times. Stray too far or act suspiciously, and we will administer a rather painful shock.
I don't like that.
Stop! Keep away from that one. The champion of Eorzea is not so easily cowed. Even if he allowed himself to be collared, the shock would be no more than an itch. No. If he refuses to obey, we will activate the twins' restraints instead.
Oh, just the
needn't
look
worry
from
about
him.
us.
We'll forget we're even wearing them soon enough.
Even now, you still... Why go to such lengths? What is it all for?
Because even the most bitter adversary may one day see reason. On the coldest, blackest of nights, meager though it may be, we must share the warmth of our fire. I like that one. On the coldest, blackest of nights, meager though it may be, we must share the warmth of our fire. Oh, god damn it, game.
You are a curious one. A far cry from the merciless barbarian others paint you to be.
No, that was my first class.
You will be their warden.
Just kidding.
Take them away.
Yes, sir.
Goodness. Complete. Alright. Let's try to sway them. Gosh darn it. I have to remind myself not to touch it. Even if it starts to itch, I'd rather not set it off by accident. Anyway, enough about that. Let's learn what we can from the refugees. It'll take more than a trifle such as this to deter us. Compared to what Garlemald's people have suffered in recent days, these collars are a mere inconvenience. Julius has his orders, unpleasant though they may be. As per Lord Quintus's instructions, I am to supervise you during your time here in Tertium. Before you ask, no, I don't have a key or any other means to remove your collars. Nor would I tell you if I did. If you try anything, you'll soon wish you hadn't. So do you truly intend to speak with the others, or is that merely a ruse? We're in no hurry to disobey Lord Quintus, if that's what you mean. Or perhaps you doubt the wisdom of his decision. Do as you will, but remember, I'll be watching. If I catch wind of you doing anything untoward, trying to trick our people into turning their coats and the like, those shock collars will be the least of your worries. Understood? Though we're somewhat compromised, to put it lightly, let's not waste this opportunity. I suggest splitting up and learning what we can of their situation. And above all else, don't use magics of any sort. You, on the other hand, may go wherever you wish, even outside the camp. I know full well I couldn't stop you even if I tried. But do not forget, if you do anything to endanger us or our interests, Alphino and Alize will pay the price. Can I do this now? No, it's not responding. Ceruleum and other necessary materials are in short supply. I'm not sure how long we can last on the stores we have. We've not the resources nor inclination to assist the likes of you. Begone. Damn. The material stored here is the property of the First Legion. If you think we'd share it with the likes of you, you're very much mistaken. Magitech radio. The radio is the same model as the one used at Victor's spoils. Perhaps it is what saved the soldiers here from being tempered. Get out of my ear with you. I'm exhausted, and the last thing I need is you and your drivel. Marcellinus. I know who you are, the so-called champion of Eorzea. Come to gloat, have you? I'll wipe that smirk off your face. By the blood of our fallen compatriots, I swear I'll... Damn, tore the sutures. Full the times, worst of the lot within striking distance, I can't even muster the strength. If it weren't for the thirds bleeding us, we'd be the end of you. For Gylius's treachery nearly lost Lord Quintus's life, but we made our escape. Took shelter in a mansion, tended to the wounded as we prepared to strike back, and then night fell and we gathered around the radio. Then the roar, the terrible roar. The capital was in chaos, but we were spared. If you can call this a mercy, mind intact, but body broken, a soldier in name alone. I'll cut you down where you stand if I could. Murderer. You came with Julius, didn't you? Well, whatever business brought you here, you'd best keep your hands off that aetherite. It's deactivated, but I'd rather you didn't mess with it. There are others throughout the city, but by Garleans, 4 Garleans. There are others throughout the city, but by Garleans, 4 Garleans. Could teleport all over in the blink of an eye, provided there was a terminal nearby. These days, however, we use the aetherite's power to keep this place lit. But that comes at the cost of its normal function. Okay. Tavia. It's you, Shenta Better. I served under Lord Gaius and the 14th Legion. I was there on the night the Praetorium fell. You and your adventurers, you killed them. My comrades, my friends, swept them aside in their dozens, as though they were nothing to you. And maybe I am too. Just another faceless enemy to be cut down. But it won't be long until our countrymen return. Until you get what you deserve. Mark my words. I have made my position quite clear. Do not test my patience. We may do to ease your woes. How much longer are we going to be stuck down here? This is no way to live. So cold and probably hadn't had a proper meal in days. If only we'd brought some food with us, but perhaps I could use a little magic to... No, I mustn't. Gods, this is so frustrating. No matter what may betide, I've my daughter, and that alone shall keep me from succumbing to even the darkest of nights. I can't feel my fingers. I've never been this cold or this hungry in all my life. While Garlemald was built on a frozen waste, the city itself was always a warm, inviting place. Now all we once had is in ruins. Oh, I forgot there are some people up here, right? At least there's like one person up here. Only so much I can do until we are able to procure more medicine. We cannot safely move the injured, and what little provisions we do have are spent keeping both us and the survivors warm. Where's the last person? Oh. Sabinianus. So cold. This young soldier is on the verge of losing consciousness. Did you learn anything of note? Then your findings are consistent with my own. Their plight is desperate indeed. The sick and the injured are at the greatest risk. Without warmth and proper nutrition, I fear they will soon perish. I realize there is precious little we can do for them at present, but I cannot bear to see them suffer. Please, will you help me tend to them? Didn't we still have that bottle of ceruleum? Could we not put that in the heater at least to heat them up a bit? We never did use it as far as I know. Yeah, you're the one that said you couldn't feel your fingers, right? My eyes, I can't see all that well. Thank you, the numbness has subsided a little, but I know I won't last much longer. You should look to the others who could still fight. Give them my ration. If me going hungry means someone else lives to see another day, so be it. At least I can still serve in that way. So those you've met fare no better. I was afraid you would say that. I know we were warned against meddling in their affairs, but we can't leave them like this. Perhaps we might gain permission to have the contingent deliver supplies? Quintus may have made his feelings on the matter quite clear, but even he must recognize they are not in a position to refuse help. Maybe Julius could persuade him, though we'd need to persuade Julius first. Well, seen enough. Julius, the people here have barely enough food and fuel to survive. Have you and the other soldiers been able to procure any more supplies? We've been scavenging provisions from the nearby houses, as most families kept, some stored away in the event they were snowed in. Still, going out and getting it is dangerous work. We've a lot of mouths to feed. Fuel is the greater concern, though. We had some ceruleum set aside, until it was stolen. We haven't identified the culprit. Could have been other refugees, or one of the afflicted, for all we know. Either way, we're down to the last dregs. Without the heating they need, those in poor health are going to get worse instead of better. If it's the ceruleum you need, our contingent has secured a ready supply. We can have some sent over. We will not accept your charity. If we can hold out a little longer, the situation is sure to change. Aye, everything will change. One of your comrades mentioned something along those lines. Heard something of it, have you? Well, from what I've seen, there's little you can do to interfere, so there's no harm in telling you. One of our scouts spotted a hooded man issuing instructions to the afflicted. Or, in the bastard's words, loyal servants of the Telaphoroi. Then he made his way inside the Imperial Palace, what stands in its place. We had identified the seat of the enemy's power. We realized. Lord Quintus dispatched a messenger to the 10th Legion saying as much, and instructing them to join forces with the provincial legions to prepare for a combined assault on the Tlaferoi. Once our allies arrive, your contingent will be sent running for the hills. Then we shall reclaim the capital by our own hand. And how do you intend to survive in the meantime? At this rate, many of your countrymen will perish long before reinforcements reach Garlemald. They need help now. Say the word and we will bring you ceruleum. I will speak with Lord Quintus. So, did he agree to it? No, he will not place Garlemald in the debt of her enemies. I have, however, been ordered to search for ceruleum outside. As you are under my watch, you will come with me. Very well. After all, many hands make light work. You thought of more trouble than you're worth. Once we're outside, you will follow my instructions to the letter. We will depart shortly. Without our healing magics, there's little we can do for these people beyond to offer words of encouragement, but this way we'll be able to offer them tangible assistance. Although this is hardly the solution we had in mind, it will have to suffice for the time being. Julius finds himself in a somewhat bizarre position of leading ambassadors of an enemy contingent on a salvage mission. We'll begin our search for the ceruleum in Regio Urbanissima. The first location is Forum Solius, park to the northwest of the station. You are to remain close at all times and act only as ordered. Follow me. This is the place. To think this macabre graveyard for war Magna was once a park. So this is the park. I'm surprised they found space for one amongst all these buildings. Actually, the recreational area came first. The houses were later built around them. A healthy society requires communal spaces for children to play and adults to socialize. This park was named after the founding father of the empire, the great Solus Vos Galvus. Did we come to extract ceruleum from the wrecked Magitek armor? No, we've already drained it dry. Same goes for the rest of the Machina in the vicinity. But as our ceruleum has been stolen, we must scour the city for every last drop. And while I do not expect to find anything here, I've decided to try one more time in case something has been overlooked. I see. Then with your permission, we will commence the search. Though rather small by Garlean standards, the structure is reminiscent of a merchant's stall. Perhaps it was built for children to play at shopkeeper. There's nothing inside resembling Magitech or any of the devices that would be fueled by cerulean. Let's go up. A map of Forum Solis. Several points of interest are marked on the map of Forum Solis: the pond, children's play area. To your knowledge, however, none would require the use of cerulean. Alphino? I don't imagine there would be much need for Magitech in a park of all places, but then again, I wasn't raised in Garlemald. They may have uses for cerulean that I have yet to consider. Cursory inspection of the wrecked Magitech armor confirms that the fuel canisters have long since been drained of cerulean, as Julius said. Julius ignores you as he stares at the water in silence, as if searching for something he knows is gone and will never return. This, whatever it is, appears to have been sort of symbolic meaning related to this park. Even though the place is named after Solus, it doesn't seem to be a statue of him. At least not anymore. Maybe it was once a fountain, or somewhere the man himself used to sit? Not that it would matter, even if we knew, but I can't help wondering. The contraption is built in the style of Imperial war mechna, armed with a battery of weapons and capable of transforming into different configurations, but on closer inspection it appears to be no more than a children's slide. Oh, it's you. Any luck? No. There's no sign of any cerulean. Hardly surprising, but disappointing nonetheless. Couldn't help noticing you gazing at the pond. Is something the matter? What? Yes. I mean, no. It's just, I used to bring my brother and sister here to play. The pond was heated to stop it from freezing over, so like all the other children, they just had to wade in and splash about. Would have stayed there if I didn't drag them out. We'd be sopping wet when all was said and done, every time. And every time when we'd get home, Mother would scold us, saying we'd catch our death walking around like that. The pond was heated. With a cerulean-powered heater by chance? I suppose it must have been. Come to think of it, I remember seeing engineers changing out a tank beneath a hatch. But that was a long time ago, when the water still flowed clear and wasn't this brackish muck. We can't see a thing, and I can't remember where the hatch might be. With the machinery most likely broken, the amount of filth in there is probably the only reason it hasn't frozen over. I'd wager it's still unbearably cold, though. Julius, or Jules, what are your thoughts on magic? The average Garlean would jump out of their skin if they saw it. The first has a few forms, Signiferi and Medici, so it doesn't scare me. Then I take it you won't mind if I employ a little now? Alphino, as you have a knack for finding dry wood, why don't you bring me some? Once that's done, a blast of fire should do the trick. Leave it to me. planning to go in there, are you? Of course I am. The tank is going to fetch itself. It's nothing so involved as extracting unprocessed cerulean from a frozen lake, like how the tappers do it. We're talking about a shallow pond in a park, and we have a way of warming ourselves up after. But that's insane! So, fancy a dip? Step aside while I drink the pond dry, that way we'll find it in no time. A little friendly competition might make things a little interesting. Last one to find a cerulean tank is a rotten egg, though I dare say we'll both smell like a rotten egg when this is over. Point of interest. Oh, Alizé! You delve into the murky water, but come up empty-handed. To add injury to insult, the icy wind on your damp clothing chills you to the bone. Chilled to the bone. Drenched in ice cold water, causing damage over time. Gods be good, it's cold. Perhaps we should have listened to Jules after all. I'll look around the crud. Beneath the water, your fingers catch on what you think might be a handle. Oh, damn! Yeah! You open the hatch and retrieve a cerulean tank. It's so cold. However, your grand discovery comes at a great personal cost, as you become acutely aware of the freezing cold and the rancid odor emitting from every ilm of your body. Jules will doubtlessly feel compelled to pinch his nose shut when you deliver to him your prize. Alizé, get out of the water, we found it. You found it? There must be another one around here somewhere. Alizé, get out of the water. God damn it. Did you find anything? I hope you did. Temperature regulator cerulean tank. Uncovering hidden treasure is an adventurous bread and butter, though one is not normally required to go elbow deep in ice-cold stagnant pond water to retrieve it. Nevertheless, many would choose that over mowing down hordes of slavering beasts or solving annoying puzzles. Fair enough. That's it. And there's still some cerulean left. The fire's still not ready. Hold on. I'll give Alphino a hand. Aww. Call me an old ton, because by fire am I reborn. My clothes are mostly dry now, too. I appreciate you recovering the cerulean, but I wish you'd taken the time to discuss the plan with me beforehand. Despite the way you've been treated in Lord Quintus's eyes, you're still envoys deserving of protection. If you were to die on my watch, he would be most displeased. Your concern is duly noted, but all's well that ends well. Jules, you mentioned coming here with your younger siblings. Did you grow up in Garlemald? I did, not far from here. My father was an accomplished researcher in his youth, and for his contributions to the Empire awarded an estate. We lived well. Better than many. What was Garlemald like in those days? Everything. It was everything you could imagine. And so much more. Even during the coldest winters, we always found warmth and comfort at home. Coming in from the snow, taking off your coat, and sitting down for a hot meal. With family. Visiting friends and relatives. Receiving that same welcome. knowing they had everything they needed. Walking down the street, seeing the lights in all the houses, hearing the faint sounds of laughter and song, of happiness. Although the summers came and went all too quickly, that brief respite, the ice would melt and the forgotten grass made its triumphant return. Gray clouds gave way to blue skies. Some mornings we'd climb to the top of the tallest buildings we could find to watch the sunrise. Never again. Those rooftops are rubble, those friends dead, those memories. But I could reclaim even a fraction of what we once had. Soon, our chance will come. We just need to hold on a little longer. Well, at least my clothes are fully dry, though they could still do with a proper wash. Owing to the wealth of experience I've accrued in gathering firewood, I was even able to provide Jules with some basic pointers on the subject. I thought it might help to further build a rapport and to distract him from his other concerns. Now that the fire has burned out, Jules is ready to move on. Alright, now that you've recovered from your escapades in the pond, there's another location I'd like to search, just outside the park. Everything was built on an enormous scale and with thick, clearly cut stone, much like Amarat. Given what we know, such similarities are no coincidence. The War Machina appeared to be patrolling the area of their own volition. I wonder whether it's simply following its original orders, or if it now serves Laferoy. As you can see, this place is littered with remnants of various types of War Machina. All my comrades and I have already recovered the tanks from the less damaged units. Those that took a more severe beating are harder to scavenge. We decided to save those for another time. That time being now. Rather than pry them apart piece by piece, it would be quicker to remove the outer casing using compact explosives. With luck, we'll gain access to the tanks without rupturing them. Though the force generated by these devices is relatively weak, I would advise you to stand well clear to avoid being hit by any shrapnel. Before even bothering, though, you should check the Machina's cerulean gauge to see if there is any left. It should still provide an accurate reading even when the unit itself is inactive. If the gauge is broken, I'll let you decide whether to use an explosive or not. Should you need more, come to me. Understood. Let's get to work. You still have the explosives I gave you, yes? Remember to check the cerulean gauge before attempting to remove the outer casing. I'll take this side, I guess. According to the cerulean gauge, the unit's fuel tank is empty. On the unit appears to be giving you no way to determine if the tank may hold. Alright. Powerful enough to destroy the thick army of Imperial War Machina, but not the considerably more fragile cerulean tanks beneath, apparently. Just gonna start removing the War Machina case and return this so you find it to be completely empty. is empty. Okay, no way to determine. Well, we're getting used. Trade the warming. It's still half full, or half empty, depending on one's perspective. Either way, Jules will surely be pleased by your discovery. Good, that's nice. More explosives? Wait, is that what I think it is? Not only did this tank survive the attack that disabled the warm machina in which it was installed, it also escaped the blast of the explosives unscathed. Medals for outstanding service were awarded to inanimate objects. This champion among cerulean tanks would surely deserve one. There you go. You've done it again. Truly, luck is on your side. With this, we should be able to refuel quite a few of our heaters. It's time we headed back. Wait here while I go and see how Alize and Alphino are faring. Uh-oh. They're gonna need help, aren't they? Or someone's gonna try to attack me. Oh, there they are. Yeah, alright, it's all fine.
Finally escaped the watchful gaze of your keepers, have we?
I knew it.
You'll only draw attention to yourself. Just carry on as you are. After you left with the Garlean lad, Lucia bade a few of us scouts follow you at a discreet distance. We observed you being led into the station, but decided against venturing inside. When you emerged sometime later, and we saw that the twins were sporting Magitech collars, it was clear what had taken place. Now, as quietly as you can, tell me everything. The Legatus himself, eh? Now there's a surprise. This is also the first I've heard of a plan to join forces with the 10th and storm the Tower of Babel.
That's what we're calling it now? The Tower of Babel? Okay.
We've been waiting for.
This is making me want to play some of the older Final Fantasies again.
Our comrades back at the camp also received some rather promising news, but it's still too early to get our hopes up. For now, keeping yourselves out of harm's way comes before all else. Whatever demands the Garleans make, indulge them. With luck, this will all be over soon. Until then.
They had not gone far.
Good.
We searched high and low, but no luck, I'm afraid. I might have guessed you'd be the only one to find anything.
I wasn't expecting much to begin with. Eventually, there will be nothing left out here for us to safely salvage.
What about not so safely?
For now, this will
Send me towards
suffice.
those.
We should return to the station.
Oh, nice.
Ah, there you are. Heard you'd gone hunting for ceruleum above ground. Brought back a king's ransom?
Hardly. But thanks to these three, we have enough to last a little while longer.
Well, well. It's not at all as I was expecting, these ones. For savages, they seem positively docile. It's a poor attempt at humor. In all honesty, I'm grateful for your efforts. But even with another night of warmth, there are those among us who may not live to see the morrow.
Do you have any ideas where you might be able to find some more medicine?
I trust your expedition was fruitful.
Lord Quintus!
Use what you procured to refuel the armor.
But, sir, what about the heaters for the camp?
The time for action is upon us. My men and I have matters to discuss. In the meantime, you are to wait here. Do not forget, you are being watched.
The time for action. What did he mean by that?
I can only speculate. Clearly something requiring their magitech, given what we just heard. Whether they plan to utilize it now, or after they join with the 10th, is another question.
It might just be something they just told us, too. It might not necessarily be true. Look, they're not stopping me from getting more cerulean. Let me go out and try to find some more, that way I can turn the heaters on.
Return to and reclaim the idyllic spaces of which Eula spoke?
Finished your war, Council?
Alphino and Alizea to stay here as our prisoners. They will be released once your comrades have relinquished their supplies and withdrawn from Garlean soil. Until our terms are met, they will be detained at a separate location.
After everything we've said and done, this is how you treat us.
Our allies have but limited supplies. They may stave off cold and starvation for a short while, but what then?
For now, keeping yourselves out of harm's way comes before all else. Whatever demands the Garleans make, indulge them.
Everything will be alright. Have faith. Hello, Royal. Hi, hi. How are you?
Get them out of here.
God damn it. Think we'd better follow him. Nice to meet ya. Hello, hello. Any friend of Lucian's is welcome here. Yules, my friend, you have some explaining to do. Alphino and Alizé will be fine, provided they do not resist. Oh! Once again, Yules has been entrusted with an unenviable task. You will accompany back to your camp, where I will meet with your leader and present Lord Quintus's demands. Before we depart, however, there is something I would ask of you. Assuming your contingent complies, the supplies they surrender will need to be transported here. That task falls to the legionaries Marcellinus and Octavia, who will pilot Magitek armor to your headquarters. You are to inform them that we are leaving shortly. Tell them to ask the eel for further details in those words. Once you've seen to that, meet me by the exit. Marcellinus, you again. Ask the eel, he said. So, that's to be the way of it. After all this. How ironic that you should be the one to deliver the news. If those are my orders, then so be it. For the glory of Garlemald. This is just to be getting supplies, right? I've got a bad feeling about this. What do you want with me? Ask the eel? So Lord Quintus has reached a decision. I knew he would understand, that he would recognize the savage as a ruthless, merciless creature. And to defeat him, we too must be uncompromising. I am ready. In the name of Emperor Varius, for the glory of Garlemald, I will fulfill my duty. I hope they're not about to do what I think they're about to do. Let's see. Have you done as instructed? The duties involve more than transportation of supplies, don't they? Duty is rarely a simple thing. We have been given additional orders, though whether we will be required to follow them depends entirely on your contingent. You and I are in this together now, like it or not. We have to cooperate. There's one other matter. A place I'd like to visit on the way to your camp. It's a short walk from here. Follow me. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Give me a moment, please. Yules lingers by the ruins, reluctant to leave and reluctant to stay, unable to move on. Yeah?
This is my home. Our home. At least it was, until that night. I was with Lord Quintus when the capital fell, and thus spared. My family, who did not own a radio, were less fortunate. When dawn came, I made my way here. My parents, my little brother and sister, they were still inside. But they weren't themselves, and they tried to. And I had to. I'd promised to take them away from the capital that very morning, to somewhere safe, to hide until the fighting stopped. I promised. The Garlean flag bears a chain, the bonds between our countrymen. A red link at its center, the blood of the fallen. Our loved ones who lived and died for Garlemald. But if she too fell, who would be left to remember them and their sacrifice? What enduring proof would there be that they were ever here? If we had turned to your gods, would they have saved us? I'm sorry, forget I spoke. We should go.
It's no use.
Believe me, I do not enjoy being here any more than you. But he wanted us to play along, so that is what we will do.
Aww.
It's so cold.
Oh.
Painfully so. Unbearably.
I've been thinking about what Quintus said. About why no one would accept Garlean rule. Irreconcilable differences. When coexistence isn't an option, only conquest remains. Varys at Gimlet said much the same. Only by uniting the world beneath a single standard would we rid ourselves of the Ascians. United. As one people, one race cleansed of imperfections. A cold and unforgiving vision. And when we fail to live up to their standards, what place is there for us in their world? But the truly sad, truly frustrating thing is how damnably similar it all is to the lofty ideals of Father and the Forum. Non-intervention. Always non-intervention. Protect our knowledge and our people, and to hells with the rest of you. And yet, I can see how it happened. Varys and Father looked to their elders for guidance and took their virtues as their own. But for this world was of their making. In who else could they place their trust? All of us lost in a sea of chaos. searching desperately for purpose and meaning. But it shouldn't just be an extension of another's. It has to be ours. It has to be. We all have a stake in this world. No one should be silenced.
I won't deny that we lack the experience of people such as Father or Quintus. Perhaps they've come to see the world as a series of problems, and the most efficient way of solving them, to reduce everything to fundamental forms.
Oh, god damn it.
A stone is a stone, a cloud, a flower, no more than that. Simple descriptions that strip the subject of distinguishing characteristics. A man is a man, divided according to race, creed, or allegiance, and to some, defined by such associations.
Is that what you think?
In my misbegotten youth. But what I believed wisdom was no more than aggressive ignorance. I've since learned to look beyond the banners and the politics, to see people as individuals with their own hopes and dreams. As for my dream of building a better world, well, every day I'm reminded that it is far more complex than I had ever imagined. But it only spurs me onward, to find the wisdom and the strength to see it through to the very end.
All of our supplies and an immediate withdrawal. These are your conditions?
Demands. And you forgot about the airship. Once again, you will leave one behind. It will be used to return the prisoners. Their collars will be removed prior to the exchange.
So in the end, not even Father's expertly worded rhetoric could deter you from your chosen course.
Huh?
Not that I thought for a moment that it would. I've no love for violence, of course, but ours is a cause worth fighting for. I just wish he'd realize it too. Sometimes the only way to protect the ones you love is to take a stand, to refuse to suffer in silence. I want you to know I share your conviction. Whether it be on the battlefield or in the debating chamber, I won't back down. I guess what I'm saying is...
You've found your own reason to fight.
Yes. Yes, I have. God's willing, there will come a day when we can finally lay down our arms, and there will be peace. But not until the Telophoroi have been defeated once and for all. And you, brother, will have a vital part to play. By your words and deeds, you'll lead the way.
I pray I am up to the task.
I'm getting very nervous.
There'll always be naysayers. Those who think us
I love the
fools
twins,
for
but I'm
even
getting very
trying.
nervous right now.
It's easy for learned elites to criticize earnest efforts and assert their moral superiority, all without offering alternatives. Not that their sophistry has ever wounded you. So stubborn and strong. Stronger than you even know. Don't ever change, you hear me? If you stumble, I'll be there to catch you. Or give you a thick ear. Maybe both, for good measure.
Thank you, Alice.
Oh, thank God. Oh. Not Thancred. Still works, though. Hey, Estinian.
The scouts have secured Alizé and Alfino. Their collars were removed without complication as well. They report no casualties, not for their party nor the guards, who will wake from their premature slumber in due course.
It would appear the situation has changed. I propose new terms. We have information that will be of great interest to Lord Quintus, and I wish to speak with him in person.
Am I gonna get a flashback?
No. In the event you rejected our first proposal, we came prepared.
Yeah, here it freaking comes. God damn it.
Ambush!
More are coming! Make ready!
We, the loyal soldiers of the First Legion, proud servants of Garlemald, of the fallen Emperor Varys, shall safeguard these lands from the barbarian hordes until our countrymen return! Stop! Both of you!
Nice.
This child may be the worst emissary I've ever seen.
We received an urgent communication from the Grand Company of Eorzea. Envoys from the Imperial Army, led by members of the 10th Legion, came to Alamigo and requested an audience. They explained that their efforts to coordinate the reclamation of the capital with the aid of the 4th, 5th, 8th, and 12th had ended in failure. Communication between most legions has broken down entirely. Most of the 10th's conscripts have deserted, leaving their forces severely depleted. That is why, unable to continue the fight on their own, they and their allies turned to the Grand Company of Eorzea for aid.
Lies! Every word!
It is the truth, and I have not finished. The 10th has requested that we deliver a message to Lord Quintus. Have the ill stand down.
You have been listening, my lord? What are your orders?
Inform her that we will honor the 10th's decision.
God damn this game.
Hope, and now dignity.
This game stresses me out so much.
I release you from your duty. All of you. I take solace, your radiance, in the knowledge you are not here to witness our debasement. 'Twas a grand, glorious dream we shared. Of a world united, of peace and prosperity. We are ghosts, you and I, memories of days gone by. Bonds forged in blood, that I will not see tarnished.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Game? Game?
Quickly! We have to reach the station before it's too late.
I think it's too
There is
late.
a chance that Quintus will agree to a truce. We must take it.
I just hope we get there before he and his men do something rash.
Already too late. I think you're way too late on that. Oh god. Hey, there it is. Oh my god, game! Oh, they're gonna walk in and see that too. What do y'all have to think about? Thank goodness the 10th Legion decided to sue for peace when they did. We've been spared more senseless bloodshed, which is the last thing anyone, including the First, needs. From their perspective, though, the promise of reinforcements was their last hope, and now they have no choice but to capitulate to the invaders. But we will prove to them that all is not lost, and we yet stand a chance at casting out the Talaforoi. Even with the Empire in ruins, the Guardians have not lost the will to fight. That strength shall serve them in days to come. There is yet life in this cold soil. It was a grave error not to post sentries farther from the camp. Had we seen the Guardians sooner, we could have slain them long before the truce was called! Sadu! They engaged us of their own free will and deserve to die warriors' deaths. Even so, I have not forgotten why we are here, and I will stay my hand for now. Sadu! You're the frickin' most bloodthirsty one among us, my god! Serena! When the Imperials charged upon us, we were able to avoid any serious injuries on either side. In truth, most of the Guardians were in no condition to fight. Sunken eyes, hollow cheeks. Must have been a long time since they had a decent meal. I am sure they will be much more amenable to conversation with food in their bellies. I just returned from guarding the airships, and now I got to keep an eye on the captured Imperials. Maybe a bit of chit-chat will help lighten the mood. Yeah, she really is the murder hobo of the group, isn't she? Mules will make no attempt to resist. Much and more has occurred since last we met. As for determining what comes next, we must speak with Lord Quintus about that. With the immediate crisis averted, Lucius seeks to gain a clear understanding of the present situation. Before we proceed, tell me what you know of the First Legion and the disposition of their forces. They were preparing for war while the refugees in their care were left to go hungry? A reckless, short-sighted plan that risks the welfare of the people they are sworn to protect. Nevertheless, we cannot compel them to accept our aid. If we were to arrive in force with the intent to do so, we would only incite panic. But perhaps they can be persuaded to follow one of their own. Go with Eulus back to the station and have him lead the refugees here. Some may be unwilling or unable to leave, but for the time being it will take what I can get. Alphino, Alizé, and the scouts sent to extricate them should already be at the station. I also have our other comrades in the area, lend their support should it be needed. Understood. Ay. a quest. Criminal. Yes. You'd like the opinion on something. Ah, just who I was looking for. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Rimanold of Ishgard. I've been in charge of our arrangement with Tapper's Den, you see. However, the very first of the Tappers to come bearing ceruleum has asked quite a lot of us, if I do say so. They wish for our help in getting Juturna Platform G up and running. The very same platform that's at the head of the Imperial's primary energy pipeline. What's more, he's a Garlean. I was convinced the only engineers left in Tapper's Den were from conquered territories. In any case, I'm not qualified to judge the motives of the man. I'd feel much more at ease if I had someone of your experience helping to make the call. I'm headed that direction anyway. I thank you for your willingness to assist. Let us go and speak with the Tapper in question then. He's a man by the name of Appius? Oh, they're in camp. Oh, what do you have to say, Manalian? It's no use taking in any of these guys. We're gonna let them freeze. Oh, same thing? Alright. I suppose you must be the friend Rimanold wanted to fetch. You have my thanks for getting him to agree to my proposal. Do not misunderstand, I have yet to agree to any such thing. I merely wanted someone else present during our talk. Very well, though I do believe my proffered deal would be a boon to us and the Ilsabard contingent alike. I used to work on Juturna Platform G, you see, so I know more than most about the facility and its operation. Ominous lightning, okay. That may be so, but your relationship with the facility notwithstanding, why should a Garlean such as yourself still be taking refuge in Tapper's Den? We've been led to believe that the former workers residing there were from other territories. You're right on the technicality. I am a supervisor, rather than your typical staff. When the platform went down, it only seemed right that I stay with my crew. I always thought we were close, but living alongside them in Tapper's Den has made me realize that I took them and their skills for granted. And that's to say nothing of the blind eye I turned to their struggles. That's why I came to you. It's high time I be of some real use to them, and everyone else if we're lucky. If we manage to get the platform back in working order, it'll dramatically increase our capacity to pump and refine ceruleum for everyone in the region. Sadly, we're more than a few hands short of a full workforce, not to mention the lack of supplies. Which is precisely where you come in. Help us get things up and running again, and you'll have your share of the ceruleum coming out of the rig. Couldn't come up with a more mutually beneficial arrangement if you tried. So he says, what do you think? A little uneasy about this. Yes, I've been leaning the same way myself. Ultimately, what he says about the potential benefits is true. Nevertheless, I doubt the higher-ups would assent to this. I suppose that is how it goes when you're dealing with military types. For what it's worth, I do understand the hesitancy to throw your lot in with someone from a hostile nation. Thus, part 2 of my proposal. I shall do you... I shall do you a service to provide myself worthy of the contingent's trust, to prove myself. I had a look at the fringes of your camp here before you arrived, and I've spotted a few ceruleum engines in need of repair. If I fix them up, your superiors would have no reason to suspect that I want to see you driven out. Less reason, in any case. Assisting us with use of local technology would go a long way, I'd imagine. That said, I've not heard anything about the ceruleum engines we've scavenged breaking down. It's not as if they're entirely useless yet, but I guarantee they're not running as they should. Give me the opportunity and I can have them working more efficiently and safely. You're welcome to accompany me while I do so. That way you can ensure that I don't get up to anything suspect. and then vouch for me with your superiors. I have no objections. I trust you will sense anything amiss. Let us begin with a proper inspection, then. We can get to work as soon as you're ready, Shent. Though the ultimate objective is to get the engines running at full capacity, the purpose of this inspection is to work out what parts we'll need. However, I would hate to fumble something and be accused of sabotage, so I'd appreciate it if you could be the one to lay hands on the devices. Never fear. I'll be right behind you, telling you what to look for. If we inspect, say, 3 of them, we should have a decent idea of what needs repair. Lead the way. Okay. News regarding the 10th came shortly after you first left with Ghouls. From that, we were able to deduce that the first was somewhere within the capital. We were, however, only able to verify this once you had made contact with Ingrid. Alright. So are they going to be in the buildings then, I assume? Praise be to your deft hands. I have an idea of what our next step ought to be, though perhaps it would be best to appraise Rimelnod of our progress first. How are our engines? Alas, I fear that each of those we examined are guaranteed to break down sooner or later should you continue using them in their current state. Surely you jest. I swear it on my integrity as an engineer. You are in dire need of instruction in the proper operation of cerulean engines. You saw the little lamp light up when you touched the switch, correct? That only illuminates when there's an issue with the engine. They were switched off for what? They were switched off for want of fuel when the settlement was abandoned, no doubt, which prevented them from burning out. Only to let them freeze solid instead ere your lot turned them on. From the state they're in, I can only assume it didn't occur to you to warm them up first. I noticed you have heating technology of your own, but it will do you no good should the engines to power them break now, will it? You are nothing to lose and everything to gain from my assistance. I'm a machinist from Frozen Climes myself, and what you say sounds plausible enough. Very well. On behalf of the camp, I formally ask you to repair the cerulean engines. I suppose that means I'll be taking responsibility if anything goes wrong, so you may as well use your own 2 hands this time. That's the spirit. I knew you'd come around. Got the ether current. Alright, let's meet up with the others. We'll get the rundown of what they saw, and then I think I have to get ready to call it so I can get ready for work. Yahoo. They had cars? Okay. Heck. The You know what? Again, I guess I just never noticed the cars in the middle of the roads. And I guess the buses. Okay, I guess I just wasn't properly... I was focused in on finding the ceruleum and going around this area and didn't see the vehicles. Or I guess see them for what they were until now, I guess. Alrighty. It's a comfort to see thee none the worse for thy recent ordeals. When you don't have magic, you gotta do something. I guess I just assumed they also used chocobos to get around, but I guess I've yet to see a single chocobo in the region, so maybe it's too cold for chocobo. But then again, they have chocobo in Corthus. I don't know. What are you doing back here? Where are Jules and the others? Oh, I did not expect you to arrive so soon. There's been a development. Perhaps you had best see for yourself. Oh boy. Shent and Yules. We arrived just before you did. And too late. Too late for what? What's happened? It's Lord Quintus. He took his own life. After the news about the 10th, he relieved us of our duties. Then, when he was alone, he... No, he wouldn't. Thancred and the others, assisted by the soldiers, have seen to the remains. In due course, shall the legatus be afforded a proper burial. He released us from our duty. He wanted us to be free. Free to choose our own fate. Without him to guide us, I have just this moment spoken with Lucia. We are ready to commence the transfer of the refugees here to Camp Broken Glass, should they be willing to accept our aid. Some would rather die, but most of us just want to live. Songs and standards be damned. We just want to live. We'll need to speak with the refugees. They'll have to decide for themselves if they want to come with us. If any would prefer to stay, we can have supplies brought over to them. It'll be a hard journey for the others, but we'll see they reach our camp safely. guarding the area. Fair enough. I do hope the Ilsabar contingent actually makes some kind of difference around here. No matter what may betide, I have my daughter, and that alone shall keep me from succumbing even in the darkest of nights. Nothing new with you, okay? To employ healing magics now would likely invite catastrophe, as thou canst attest from thy experience at Victor's spoils. Indeed, the Guardians view our ability to manipulate Aether with the same suspicion that many Guardians do Magitek. At least the pain proves I'm not dead yet. Our knowledge, all of it gone. Since hearing about Lord Quintus, I confess I have many and more thoughts on the subject. If you can deny he was a man of principle, misguided though he may have been. Everything's gonna be alright now. Lord Quintus was our rock in the storm, and now we are without a leader, without direction. Nevertheless, we must live on, even if that means consorting with our former enemies. Well, what do you want? Tell me about yourself. I'm Decimus, Centurion of the First Legion. It is my sworn duty to defend Garlemald from barbarians such as you. Your very presence here is an affront to my honor. What kind of place is this? This is Tertium, third amongst the stations that encircle the city. The decommissioned carriages here now serve as the First Legion's temporary base of operations. It has also become a safe haven for those fleeing the turmoil that has befallen the capital. What scant supplies we have are distributed among civilian and soldier alike, and we strive to maintain some semblance of order in these dark times. Our true objective, however, is not merely to survive, but to reclaim our home. We have no time to deal with your band of savages. If you dare to interfere in our affairs, we will not hesitate to cut you down. Nothing. I know not how to offer encouragement or solace to these poor souls, but if safe passage to our camp they need, I'd gladly oblige. Still trying to get this Aetherite working again. If nothing else, we might be able to reach other parts of the cities as scavengers for provisions. Oh, I can attune to it now. Alright. That works. Our leader may be gone, and the world may be falling to ruin, but my duty to my people will never change. Such is the life of a soldier. They're willing to sell to me now. Wasn't it? Think we could reclaim it, rebuild it all ourselves. Before this all began, I sent my wife and daughter away to the provinces. If there's a chance I might see them again, I'll take it. So take me. Take me with you. Please. Well, got the 8th rite sorted in the end. All it took was a few adjustments. Now it works as well as it ever did. From what I can tell, the one in Latrum is also functioning as normal. That's where you lot are staying, isn't it? Now that most of us are packing up and leaving this place, I reckon there'll be more use for me and my skills over at your camp. True. Oh, quest just opened up here, damn. Flavius? Ah, it's you, the one who treated me with such kindness. I heard from the others that you're not from around here. I thought you were one of us. Not that it makes much difference now. Purebloods, migrants, savages. After a while, the words start to lose meaning. All that's left with is anger and fear and hate. And I'm too tired. If you and yours have come to offer aid, I'd be glad to accept. Why? Best not to dwell on it. Not when there's work to be done. We have much to discuss. Our rescue, the attack on Camp Broken Glass, all we'd hoped to talk about with Quintus. But all of that can wait. More urgent matters demand our attention. Are any of the refugees willing to come to our camp? Thank the 12. Thank the 12. You and I should go first and secure the route back to Camp Broken Glass. With all the creatures and tempered skulking about, I expect we'll have our hands full. This should come in handy. Conqueror's Chain, courtesy of our Lominson friends. I'd save it for the tempered, though. True. I'll mark a few points that need surveying on your map. Once you've taken care of the riffraff, we'll meet back at our camp. Alrighty, I will check and see what this quest is. Oh, there are chocobo here. There's a porter. Oh, unless it's ones that we brought. That might actually be why. Never mind. Well met, traveler. Might I interest you in a chocobo porter? Ah, don't tell me this is your first visit at this one. Yes. There we go. And hi. A woman with startlingly blue hair is in search of her son, who has disappeared without a trace. Excuse me, sir. Have you seen a little boy with hair a similar shade to mine? He's my son, and I can't find him anywhere. It all started when I told him we ought to seek refuge in your encampment, and he started wailing and sobbing like I'd never seen. Next thing I knew, he was running hell for leather, goodness knows where. I'm worried he may have left the station altogether, and the streets above are rife with danger. Please, could you find him for me? Oh, you will? Bless your heart. If I know my son, he's probably tried to return to our home, to the north of Platium Novorum. Try there first before anywhere. He'll be easy to recognize, I should think, what with the color of his hair and all. Alrighty. No worries, Royalists. Have a good one. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. I gotta go myself. I gotta get ready. I need to get ready for work and grab a quick bite to eat. So, thank you all very much for stopping by, chatting, all the fun stuff. Thank you. I appreciate it. I will be back next week, as usual. And I'm gonna try to stream these next 2 days as well. Not this. This I'm, again, saving. I'll once again be trying to do my Pokemon Nuzlocke as well as Red Dead Redemption 2, the epilogue of that, so we'll see how that goes. Again, I'm tentative about what I should be doing. I don't know if I'll be streaming like late at night. I might instead do one fairly later. And by later, I mean around maybe I'll do Pokemon around 6 or 7 and Red Dead 6 or 7 in the evening, and Red Dead maybe around 6 or 7 in the morning, maybe 7 in the morning. Again, now that I'm in my new apartment, I don't want to accidentally anger people if I'm too loud. I think my volume right now is fine, but I don't know. We'll see. But at the very least for now, thank you all once again. Thank you, Lucian, for stopping by and chatting with me. I appreciate it. Thank you. And same with Bread, stopping by to say hello. I appreciate it. Until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, rest of your evening, whichever it may be, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.